Hey everybody, I'm back. It's the last weekend of January, and a week ago I started some radishes and some lettuce in little soil blocks, and I'll get into that in a minute. I've got a couple varieties of radishes. I've got French breakfast and sparkler, and I have 5 different varieties of lettuce, and the plan is to put them outside soon. I built myself a cold frame, and I'll do a video on that sometime in the near future, but I want to get those out in another couple weeks or so into the raised bed I've got the cold frame on, and see if I can get something going in the cold weather. I want to show you something I'm going to try differently this year. I've been using those standard cells trays, and this year I'm going to use blocks, soil blocks, and this is the mini blocker. It makes 20 3/4 inch seed starter mix blocks, and they've got little nubs in the top of the blocks that it creates, and it allows you to put the seeds in there, and you just keep it watered and the soil seed starter mix moist, and the seeds will germinate. I also have this is, I guess, let's say the standard size. This is it's either 1 3/4 or 2 inch soil blocks. You also see that this has the little nub that leaves an indentation for your seeds. This is if I was going to start larger seeds. Now, the other thing with this is that I bought adapters where I can pull these pins out and put in larger blocks, that when I make this block, these smaller blocks will be able to be transplanted into that larger opening, and it's just like transplanting out of a normal seed cell into like a smaller styrofoam cup, something like that. Now, I want to show you how this works. So when you get right down there, you can see the space between each of these soil blocks, and that allows for air pruning of the roots. So the roots will grow up to the edge of these blocks, but they won't grow up, and it won't wrap around like you would like in one of the cells or the cups when you transplant them up. Now, you notice these radishes and the lettuce, they're getting a little leggy. So I'm going to transplant these radishes into the normal cells and bury this a little bit so that we take some of that stem and give it a couple more weeks and get them outside. Okay, so I've put a loose quarter cup of potting soil in each one of these cells. And what I'm going to do is take each one of these little blocks, put it down in here, fill it the rest of the way up with more potting soil. Now, I screened this potting soil to get out the stones and little sticks and stuff like that was in there, so it's a little bit finer mix. So I'm going to do that, transplant this, get this all taken care of, and then I'll get the radishes in a window to continue to grow for the next couple of weeks. Now, when I did these, I packed these in pretty good, so the soil seed starter mix was pretty tight in each one of those little blocks. So some of these radishes I don't think took to root very good. So you can see some of these didn't come up very well. So I'm going to see what I can do with those, because I want to have about, I don't know, I think 70 or 80 radishes in my cold frame. Whoops, lost one. So that's probably what I'm going to run into in getting these out as they grab onto each other. And I almost pulled that out. I think I can save that. So anyway, here I go. We'll see how this works out. Alright, all done with the transplanting the radishes. Here's one of the reasons I decided to go with the soil blocks this year as much as I can is this radish didn't develop. So all I have to do is take that out, throw this away, and I can keep this, throw that back in the bucket and reuse it again. I wanted to show you the tray. I took the tray, I got this from Johnny's. I got a 5-pack for $15 or so. And this is how it comes, and I put this tray underneath it so that I don't get water on anything. And there I've got my lettuce. And I'm going to keep those in there, and I think I'm going to put those straight into the garden without transplanting them up into anything else. So that's what I've got left, and we'll see how this works out in another week or so, trying to get these radishes and the lettuce out into my cold frame. As always, if the information I give on these videos is helpful, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll be back in another week or so, see how things are going. Bye-bye.